Hey girls, it's Miss Cartwright here. One of the questions I hear a lot from students, particularly at the beginning of the school year, is how do I format my paper? And for a lot of us, that can cause some anxiety. So I'm here today with some answers for you. The format we're going to use for our papers is called MLA Format, and that's the paper format we'll be using across our English classes and through most of your classes here at Prez. So let's get started. MLA Format is a writing style established by the Modern Language Association. You can see that where the letters MLA come from there. That format governs the paper format, punctuation and quotations, and also the documentation of sources and a work cited. MLA format is important because it provides a consistent format for writing papers. It also guides documenting and citing sources. You must cite sources in order to lend authority and credibility to your work, allow readers to cross-reference your sources, and acknowledge your academic debts, and also to avoid plagiarism. So basically, citing your sources helps to make you sound a lot more credible and makes you part of the broader academic world. The big thing to know about citing sources right now is that if you quote it, you've got to note it. And that just means that when you include a quote, and in our first essay we'll be writing about the secret life of bees, you have to include the author's last name and the page number in parentheses at the end of the sentence. You'll notice that the period goes at the end of the sentence after the citation. For the paper format itself, we want to make sure that the paper has 1-inch margins on all sides, that you use a 12-point font that's easy to read. I would suggest using Times New Roman. You should try to double space your paper, and you're going to use a header on each page in the upper right-hand corner that includes your last name and the page number. The first page of your paper will not have a title page, but you will include a header in the upper left-hand corner, and that's going to include the information of your name, your instructor's name, the course, and the date. And you're going to center the title of your paper on the next line. That title should just be in the same regular 12-point font. It should not be underlined and it should not be in bold, just regular like everything else. Also, you should note that your title should be a creative, original title, not the title of your assignment. So here's an example. You can see that on the left-hand corner, we've got the student's name, the teacher's name, the course, and the date. It's all double-spaced. The title is centered, and there's no extra space above it or below it. It just goes right into the essay. The essay starts off with a tab. All your paragraphs will have a tab right there, and it's double-spaced throughout. In the top right-hand corner, we have the student's last name and the page number, and then we have 1-inch margins on all sides except for this little bit where it says last name and page number. So now we're going to give it a try. Let's make sure that your paper is in MLA format for your Secret Life of Bees, What Makes a Hero essay. In order to do that in Google Docs, we're going to have to do something a little bit special, so I'm going to show that to you next. So here we are looking at the beginning of my essay on my iPad, and I'm using the Doc app, the Google Doc app, and you can see that it's a little difficult for me to format it in perfect MLA format. I have my header, I have my title centered, and I have the beginning of my essay, but I can't do basic things like double space it or indent my paragraphs. In order to do that, I'm going to have to go to the web version of Google Docs. So I'm going to go ahead and close my Doc app, and I'm going to open up my Google Docs in a browser. So let me go to all of my documents. I'm going to go ahead and find that same document. It's right here at the top, my What Makes a Hero essay. So this, when I open it up regularly in the mobile version online, it looks almost exactly the same as the regular Doc app. So at the bottom, I'm going to click on this little icon where it says Desktop. And it's not really going to want me to do that, but I'm going to say continue to the desktop anyway. Now you can see that I'm working in a format that looks just like it would on your computer. So now it's really easy for me to do things like double space. So if I want to go ahead and double space, I can click on the More button, and then I get this little guy that has the arrow up and down, and I'm going to select him and go to double. And you can see that that double spaced one line, but I want to make sure it gets my whole essay. So I'm going to have to try to select everything and then do double spacing that way. Okay. There we go, that'll do it. So I can go ahead and double space. Nice. Now I've got a double spaced header. And you can see it's not as awesome to use the full version here as it would be on a computer, for example, but it's going to get the job done. So double space a little bit more. Great, so I've just about got it. I can also go ahead and, so rather than trying to tab in for our essay, we're just going to hit space 5 times at the start of each paragraph. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'll work for us. The last thing I need to do is insert the heading with my last name and the page number at the top of the page. So to do that, I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to insert header. And now I have my cursor at the top of the page, and you can see it drew a line across. There we go, Cartwright, my last name. And then I'm going to go Insert one more time, and I'm going to select page number. At the top of the page. There we go. Great, so there it is. So now you can see my essay is in pretty good shape. I'm in MLA format. So you guys are going to go ahead and make sure that your paragraph is also in MLA format. Thanks, girls.